I'm getting ready to start a new journal, and so I printed off a lot of digitals. Let me show you. This is a kit by Luise that I fell in love with many, many moons ago. Just couldn't figure out quite what to do with it. Still don't know what to do with it, but I just had to get it. I just love it. But anyways, when you get a digital kit, oftentimes they'll give you some background pages. But they, obviously if they have, 8 journal pages, they're not going to necessarily give you 8 background pages, and I don't really care to print the same background pages on all my pages. So in this case, Luise gives you 2. So I did print on the back of these pages. So this is one that she gives you, and it's good for journaling, but look how pretty that is. It matches the page. And then here's a second one. Okay, really pretty. I think I printed that twice. Yeah, I printed it twice. I did one darker and one lighter, and I think I like the darker one for color, but the lighter if somebody's going to journal on it. So that was like trial. But anyways, these are 3 of the pages from her kit. So I print out my digitals on 32-pound presentation white paper. When you print on an inkjet printer, your ink is not steadfast. So you have a couple of options if you want the back to be not white. One is to print on coffee dyed paper or tea stained paper, but you have to remember that because it's already stained, your graphics are not going to be as vivid and beautiful as these are. It's going to be muted, and that's okay. It's a style and it's fine, but I like my graphics very vivid, and I want the white background on them. And so, but what I'm faced then with is white backs. So I had a couple of ideas of what I do to break up the back so they're not stark white, and I wanted to share that with you. So I thought this morning I would pick 3 of those ways and I would share that with you. Now, I already made this video, but being fairly new to the whole YouTube scene, I mean, I think I've been on here over a year or a couple years, but I've not been active. It was when I was just first trying it out and stuff, and I wasn't into journal making at the time. I was just like seeing if I could do my artwork online. But anyways, so this morning I went ahead and videotaped this whole idea for you, and I video with my camera, and evidently the cord came loose and it ran out of juice. So I'm not even going to show you these because I want it to be new, but I did do them already. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick 3 pages. 1, just any 3, 2, 3, okay. Look at this kit. It's just stunning. Just stunning. Anyways, so I picked 3 pages, and we're going to do one at a time. So the first idea to break up a white page, okay, let me just look at them real quick to see. I think let's do this one here. So, and it doesn't make any difference, it's just in my head. The first thing I do is I get some distress inks out, and in this case I've got Vintage Photo and tea dye, and my stencils. Okay, so I'm going to turn my page over, and I want to make sure that I have the top up just so I know what I'm doing, and I'm just going to look for something. Just any of these will work, really. You can combine them, you can do whatever you want. I just want to put something light on the back to break it up. Oh, how about this one? Put something light on the back to break it up, but so that you can still write on it. So I'm going to use the tea dye. That's the lighter of the 2. And I'm going to, with a very light hand, I'm just going to lay down a some color. I'm not concerned if there's white space. I just don't want this back to be stark white. So let me see if I'm pressing hard enough, and I am. So then you just move the stencil. Don't worry about overlapping. Don't worry about covering all the space. This is just to break up the white. So this is one idea. And like I said, you can use any stencil you want. Sometimes I just put circles on the back, or flowers on the back, or, you know, and depending on what color your journal is, or what the theme or style of your journal is going to be, you can use different color inks. Whatever you like, but this is so light that you can still write on it, but it's going to blend so well with the pages in this journal. Okay, let's see. I think it almost looks like I have like a white line there, so I'm just going to kind of break that up. That looks good. And right over here. Not that I care if there's white space, but I don't want specific lines. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up and let's see if you can see how that looks. And actually the design, the stencil design, fits in really good with the design of our journal. So here's our page. So what I'm going to do also is I'm going to distress the edges of this page. And it's always easier to distress if you have two sheets. And then when I'm done, I'll open it up so you can see. I used to really struggle with how to break up the white pages. I mean, you want pages for journaling. That's the purpose of the book. And my journals are not totally full of ephemera. I mean, they're usually pretty full, but I try to leave so much space for journaling since I feel like that's the purpose. But, and especially with this style, with this digital kit, it lends itself to need something more than white. So there's the outside, okay? And then here's the inside. I love it. So that breaks that up a little bit, right? Okay, so let's go on to the second idea. The second idea is stamping. This is kind of cool. So stamping, I just pulled out an old stamp, and this is a Heidi Swap stamp, and as a matter of fact, it's multiple stamps, but I've never taken it apart. So we're going to use it as is on this piece of acrylic. And we're going to use our tea dyed, but I think I might just run it across there. Yeah, I think I better. I'm just going to run it across the music part and really haphazardly stamp. Just all we want to do is get a background down. It can overlap, it can have gaps. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is just go across it, trying to get the ink off of it so it's fairly cleaned off. That was easy, huh? Okay, let's put her away. And show you what we have. We're going to go ahead and fold this and distress the edges, and then we'll put it up close to the camera so you can see. And again, even though this is stamped on, you can still write on it because it's so light. Wow, I have a little tickle in my throat. Okay, I hope I'm doing all this on camera. So here is our page. So it's very, very pale. Okay, we'll go ahead and add it with our second page. Now this page is going to be our collage page, and I've showed you this before on a different video, but I wanted to share it with you again anyways. This might give you some ideas. Sometimes you see it once and it's like, eh. But this one, I pulled out some papers and that I thought would go good with the theme of these digitals. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to define the center of this, because in a journal these pages will be separated by other pages. So we need to treat them like they're two separate pages. And I need to see where the center is in order to do this technique, which is the collage. We're going to do a collage border. So, like I said, I already videotaped this, so I have a lot of the papers already here that I use. They're book pages and Asian design papers and text and just various types. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I start. And what we're going to do is we're going to border this and we're going to border this so that you can still journal in here. Excuse me. So with that in mind, I want to go ahead and add some distress ink to the center. Lightly, just to you know, make it look more distressed or antiqued, older. And this is really due to the nature of the digitals that I'm using. It looks to be, I'm not sure what Luise had in mind when she designed those, but it does look to be like Romanesque or Greek or architecture from way back when. So that's why we want to kind of age this. Okay, so that's where we'll start. And then I'm going to add some book pages. And although I want a border, I don't want it too wide. So let's make it about like this. Okay. I'm just going to lace them out real quick. Let's do this. Right there. Okay. And then I want to see, excuse me, I want to use the papers that I used before. So I've got this one here. Let me just move this a little bit. So I've got this one here. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just, this is like some old handwritten text paper that I thought would go good. Okay, just getting a rough idea of how it'll look. This is an Asian print, and I don't read Chinese or Japanese or Mandarin or whatever different Asian text, so I don't really know what's right side up and upside down. My grandson did a pilgrimage in Japan. I don't remember what year it was, 2017 or something. So he might recognize some of these. I know he's not fluent, but he did practice Japanese, writing it and that, so that he could, you know, understand their culture a little more or whatever. So he might be more apt to know what they are, or some of them anyways. And I'm really liking this, so I think I'm going to add a little more out of this. So let's put maybe a little piece here and a little piece here. Okay, I like it. Okay, let's glue these down and let's get a head start so I can see what it's going to look like. So we're going to start right here with this corner. And with collaging, there really shouldn't be any rhyme or reason to this. You know, you just put pieces anywhere. I usually kind of start out laying out a few and then I don't after that. I just kind of make them fit. And this is such a great way to use your scraps. Oh my gosh. Because look how small the papers just have, they just need to be small pieces, you know. Oh, I love it so far. Oh, I hope I didn't glue that down. Oh. I'm gonna have to change the direction of that one. I don't remember if I had it this way to begin with, but excuse me, it wasn't a straight edge up there. And excuse me, another thing is when you're laying this out, you don't have to worry about trying to do anything in terms of putting these in any order compared to this, because these pages are going to be separated. They won't even, you won't even see them together. There'll be pages in between, and I'll show you that at the end, how it works out. So, you know, don't try to match up or say, oh, well, this has something here, so I can't do it on the other side or something. So they're going to be totally separated. I'm not sure where she learned it, but I think I actually learned to do this, or got the idea from. I mean, I didn't learn it. It's not hard to do. I got the idea from Gail Augustinelli, and I'm not sure who, I don't remember who she said she got the idea from, but I was watching her videos a long while ago, and she had done this, and I was just mesmerized by it. It was like, oh my gosh, what a great way to break up my pages and add something to them and still allow for journaling. Oh, love, love, love. Okay, so everything that we have ripped out, we've got on. So now I'm thinking that I want to put some of this paper on. So let's rip a piece of this. We don't want them too thick. This has the golds, but it also has some greens, so it'll add a little bit of color and still stay true to our theme. Let's do it down here. I think I like that, so we need to go to about there. And whatever piece, like this has a straight edge here, but this piece is ripped, which is what I like, because if it's going to be on the top, it's going to overlap. I don't want to have a straight edge there. So I do that there. Let's do that here, maybe to there. And I'm tending to make these a little more rectangular, but honestly, when I do glue pages, these collage pages, I will do them in advance sometimes with just my scraps. And a lot of times they're just like little squares, like little pieces. So it's like whatever just works for you, you know? And I tend to rip them and place them based on what I have. So that kind of determines their size. Go there, and then we might have to put something here. So maybe what I'll do is I'll make it go this way, and that way I can put a bigger piece there. Perfect. Okay, I like it. I like it, I like it. Okay, and I did have this paper here that I thought was kind of cool. And it was a scrap of, I don't remember what I was doing with it, but I do know that it looks like I was cutting out a leaf or something here, so who knows what I was using it for. Okay, so let's put that right there would be good. So let's maybe, I'm trying to, because this goes diagonal, I want to hook it so that this corner meets this green. So I'm going to maybe do that. Sometimes you have to look at stuff like that to like fill in a space or something. So perfect. Oh, how pretty. And then this one we'll put right there. How's that work out? Again, pretty perfect. Let's use a couple more for the other side. Find a place on my page here that the paper doesn't stick to because I got glue all over it. Maybe I'll go ahead and line this one up here. I think I tried that and that looked good. Okay, and this one, oh, I think that will be perfecto. just lengthwise it fits right there, so let's put it there. Okay, so we have 2 spaces here and we have spaces here. So let's see what we have. I don't know if we used, let's see, I think I did use some of this brown, so let's put this on. Well, since I just ripped that off, let's put that right there. And that'll fill that space. And this one right there. I think we are good. That won't fill that space, so let's use it right over here. And we'll get another one to fill that. Maybe we'll put it right up here. I don't want that flat edge up there. Oh my gosh, my hands get so full of glue and yuck. Ah. And we need another brown one. So let me... I'm going to go ahead and kind of measure this just so I can fill it in right here. Go like this, and I want to make that edge perfect. Okay, and in this case, we need to fill in this space right here. So let's find something interesting. We don't want this, even though I have a piece of this because it's, I already have that there. So let's see what we got. What I'm looking for is just a piece. It's screaming at me, both the... What if we put a piece there, but we'll just put a little piece. I'm just trying to use up these scraps, so let's put a piece right there. That also will make the brown not so long. And then put another book page there. I think that'll be fine. Let's do it. I think that's perfect. Okay, so that's what we have. So I'm going to go ahead and distress it. And what I'm finding now is that I may need a little more in here, a little more distress. So I'm going to go around the edges here. I don't necessarily want to go with the darker ink because I want it to be a space to, to journal. And but I do want it to look aged. So now we can go ahead and use the vintage photo to distress the outside of it. We want to trim off anything that's hanging over the edges. Sometimes it's easier to turn it inside out, so then you can see it better. Right there, right there. Oh, I did pretty good. I don't have that much. Oh, not bad. Not bad, Tommy. Okay. I'm going to distress the edges, and then what we'll do is we'll put the 3 pages together, just so you can see how they open up and how they'll be like in the journal. And again, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with the journal yet, like what direction I'm going with it. But I think later today I'm going to make some ephemera while I watch some Netflix. Or actually, I'm trying to learn Procreate on my iPad. I just got an iPad the other day, iPad Pro 12.9, and I got a keyboard for it and the Apple Pencil, and I wanted to learn Procreate. So maybe I could jazz up my videos a little bit, way down the road. But anyway, so maybe I'll watch a couple videos on Procreate to learn, because I'm trying to learn that. Okay, so there's our page. Okay, I'm going to bring the other 2 back. So the first one we have stencil. And the second one we have stamped. And the third one we have is collaged. And I'll do a few of these throughout a journal. So let me find the ones where I printed. Okay, these are what I did before. But the ones where I printed her backgrounds on them, so I can show you how they look. So if you got a journal, the journal. Okay. Let's use this one. I'm just going to quick put them together. Now this isn't necessarily how they're going to go, because I'll split these up into signatures and that, but I want to make sure I have a different, yes, okay. So it might be something like this, okay? So let's flip through it real quick just to show you how it looks. So you see that this page is next to this page. So I might put a pocket or a belly band or something on here and decorate this page. And here we have this page with the stenciling next to it. How pretty is that? And then we have our music stamp. And this is a background page. So you see how it just breaks up? There's not a white page there. I like it. Then we have another collage page in here. And a music page that we stamped. And there's a background page that Luise provides you with, the background. And then there's a stenciled page. So that'll give you some ideas of ways to break up those white pages. If you decorate them, obviously, if you put a pocket in them, once you distress them and maybe put a little graphic or something on it, that breaks it up as well. But those are 3 ideas that I use to break up the white pages, and I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you so much. And if, when I'm making the journal, if I come across ideas that I think you'd be interested in seeing, I will turn the camera on and share it with you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.